So the starting lineup is out on the ice now for the Soviets. Petrov will go to center. Harlamov, who had that great goal in New York on Sunday night, number 17, is over on the left wing. Mikhailov, number 7, he's the captain on right wing for the Soviets. Gusev on defense. And the other defenseman will be Vasiliev. There you see Petrov. Now for the Canadiens, Lafleur at center. Gainey on the left wing, Wilson on the right side. Savard and Lapointe on defense, and it goes to the Canadiens. Savard clearing it ahead to Gainey, and he ran into Vasiliev and went down. Puck is into the Soviet zone. Vasiliev cleared it up on the left wing. Harlamov passes it, and it's off the stick of Savard. Harlamov coming in. Mikhailov takes his shot, and he's wide with it along the ice. Now Gainey with Wilson. Here's Wilson taking right in on goal. He takes the shot, the rebound to Lafleur. And Tretiak was there to make the save. Now Wilson is bumping there along the boards with Mikhailov. And let's see.
Canadiens getting a penalty. John, right off the bat, we saw two things that we saw in New York the other night. A good check by Vasiliev and one of those long Soviet passes which preceded the breakaway by Murray Wilson.
Well, Mikhailov moved in close and a shot on Dryden, but that was a great check by Vasiliev right at the blue line, right to start the game. Now here's Mikhailov. He places out a stick, and Murray Wilson ends up with a penalty.
Trop élevé à 38 secondes. Canadiens penalty number 17, Murray Wilson. 2 minutes for high sticking at 38 seconds.
38 seconds, the time of the high sticking penalty against Wilson of Montreal. Petrov at center, Mikhailov on the right wing, Harlamov over there too, he remains out, Vasiliev and Gusev. So in effect there is no change for the Soviets on the power play. For Montreal, Gainey, Jarvis, Savard, and Lapointe. No score. We have just started here. We're in the first minute of play. Now Lapointe gets it over to Gainey. Gainey back into his zone to Savard. He takes a look, clears it ahead off Jarvis. Vasiliev back in his zone to Harlamov. Harlamov starting out over the line with Petrov. Petrov has it at the line, playing it back. And the Soviets are stymied the first time they put their power play into operation. Now Gusev up on the left side. Mikhailov over the line, a great move. He's knocked to the ice. Here's Petrov trying to clear it in front. He's knocked down. Now the puck goes to Lapointe. Lapointe slaps it off the boards, and the Soviets back into their own zone. Shluktov comes off the Soviet bench. Vikulov is out there too. Now Alexandrov is on the ice, and he cleared it into the Canadian zone. There's Savard with it. To the point, and it gets by Vasiliev. Now on the left side, Lemaire cleared it down the ice. Vasiliev from in front of his net. Shluktov missed it. Now it goes to Robinson. He ran into Roberts. Lemaire has it, and it's called on the outside. 31 seconds left in the penalty.
Canadiens doing all right, John. They had said before, while they didn't want to draw any penalties, they had to block up the middle, and that's what they did inside their own line, at least up to now, anyway.
Well, they did, and they kept control of the puck, too, with Gainey throwing it back to Savard. And Savard's pretty wise when he's killing a penalty, and 31 seconds left in the penalty.
Shluktov, Vikulov, and Alexandrov up front. Zagankov is on defense with Luchenko, who has the puck. Ahead it goes into the center ice area to Vikulov, to Alexandria. He tossed it back, and it's broken up by Roberts. Roberts shooting it down the ice, and now we have exactly 7 seconds left in the penalty to Wilson. Now the Soviets again. Shluktov has it on the right side. He goes one way, the puck the other, and the Canadiens again shoot it down the ice. And it is icing against Montreal.
Back at the Soviet bench, you have three coaches. That's one of the assistants, Veniamin Alexandrov, who for many years was a star player for the Soviet national team.
Soviets, everybody up for the face-off. Solodukin is at center. Maltsev and Popov are the wings. Kornway, Mahavlich, and Shutt. Volchenkov on defense, cleared it away from shutout to center. Now Ori to Robinson. He cleared it through center. It's gobbled up by Kuskin. He hits Shutt. Shutt with Kornway, Mahavlich. Shutt shoots. Goal!
Took advantage of something you don't see too often, I would imagine. The Russians coughing up the puck.
Here's the replay. Watch Steve Shutt release this puck. Just a great shot right in the top corner, and Tretiak was partially screened. Just a super shot. Here it is in a replay again.
I'm wondering if Tretiak might have been looking for him to shoot to the long side, to the stick side. He caught the short side up high. Tremendous emotion in the forum, and at 3:16, there you have it, Steve Shutt scores. So it's 1-0, but 1-0 lead sometimes don't mean very much. The Rangers found that out.
Well, the Rangers took that penalty and let the Soviets back in the game in New York.
Number 22, Steve Shutt. Assist to number 20, Pete Mahavlich, at 3 minutes, 16 seconds.
So 3:16, it's Shutt from Mahavlich. Tretiak's a busy goaltender. He played all but 4 of his team's games in the part of the schedule they completed prior to this trip. There is the head coach, Konstantin Loktev, and there is the other assistant coach, Anatoly Firzov.
So a booming blast from the stick of Steve Shutt, and Montreal leading the Soviets 1-0. It is Petrov at center against Lemaire. Gainey has it, clearing it in. Tretiak gives it to Gusev. Lemaire after Gusev, the big, tall, husky Soviet defenseman, feeds it ahead. Harlamov digging in there, fires a wrist shot, and he's wide with it. He's a tremendously exciting player, number 17, Harlamov. Vasiliev playing it out. Mikhailov gets it over to Harlamov. He left it there, and it's swept away by Lemaire. Petrov back at the line, losing it to Lafleur. Lafleur trying to center it, going after it again. Here's Lafleur, the pass too high. Lemaire rolled it in front of the net, and Gusev cleared it up. Harlamov bumped by Gainey. Here's Lapointe centering it right in front of the net, and it was grabbed off by Petrov. And the Soviets are having difficulty getting out. Vasiliev cleared it to center. Now Petrov turning back at his own line over on this wing. Harlamov missed it. Gainey knifed it in over the line. There's Lafleur going to the corner. He centered it. And there to get it is Gusev. Savard stopping it. Lapointe rolling it ahead to Gainey. He hops in over the line. Here's Gainey with Lafleur right in front of the net. Lafleur trying to push it away. And a penalty coming up. Penalty coming up.
Siliev has received the penalty for hooking. Here was the aftermath of the play when he was sent off. That puck just lay agonizingly clear for a moment, but the Canadiens didn't have anybody around. Watch Doug Rice, I don't know if we're going to follow it through as he falls and sweeps his stick around as he did trying to get the puck into the net.
Dick, what I've noticed about the Soviets, they've slipped the extra forward up near the blue line for a quick breakaway pass, so they've been trying to get that puck up to that forward.
Luchenko from the face-off, shooting it down into the Canadian zone. Montreal leading the Soviets 1-0 with just 4:58 having been played. There's Cournoyer in a full flight of steam down in behind the net. He's trying to center it. Peter Mahavlich goes in there to help. Here's Cournoyer getting ready in front. Knocked off the stick. Van Boxmeer winds up for the shot. And that changed direction and went off the boards behind the net. Gankov clearing it out. Now it's shot tied up. Peter Mahavlich comes in there to assist. Mahavlich clearing it on the left side to Lapointe in over the Soviet line. A weak shot. Sagankov checking with a point, and it was cleared from in front of the net. Shluktov ahead, it goes to Vikulov, over to Shluktov. He tried to get it back in front, and it was stopped at a point. Here come the Canadiens. Cournoyer faking the shot, and it's stopped by Sagankov. Shluktov taking it over on the far side at center, laying it back into his own zone. Luchenko turning. Now there are 37 seconds left in the penalty. The Soviets, they have that fine defensive pattern going. Mikhailov now has it. Risebrough's on the ice. Volchenkov comes to center, knocked off his stick, and Savard takes over at the Montreal line. Ahead to Lambert. Risebrough couldn't pick it up. That's Petrov for the Soviets. Dumping it back in. Volchenkov. Mikhailov laid it to the boards. Now it's in over the line. And Petrov is in there with only 3 seconds now left in the penalty. Mikhailov coming out over the line. Vasiliev is back on the ice. Good moves there by Mikhailov. And he got it over on the side to Petrov. He cleared it ahead. Savard for Montreal. Over to Robinson. He chopped it to center. Lusa couldn't clear it out. In there goes Harmelov. Here's Trombley getting ready for the net. Trombley has a shot. And it's blocked by Tretiak. Outstanding work there by Tremblay of Montreal. Savard broke up Petrov. Lambert over to Risebrough. He shoots at the rebound in front of the net. They score! Lambert!
Tremendous work by the whole line. Starting really when Tremblay came close, but it was a tremendous job of work, Fergie.
Well, when Risebrough's shot, Tretiak made the first save, and persistence paid off, and Lambert backhands it between his legs.
Better look at it here, I think. Better angle, right here from in front of the net. Sit down, please. There, thank you.
There it is, through his legs, and Lambert gives them a 2-0 lead.
The Soviets have not had a shot on Dryden. The Canadiens have outshot them 7-0 to this point in the hockey game.
They're playing a fired-up hockey club here in the Montreal Canadiens. There's no doubt about it.
Close-up look at Tretiak, John, right here, and you see Lambert, number 11, with the backhand, and as John pointed out, persistence, he fought off the check and scored.
Assist to number 8, Doug Risebrough, and number 18, Serge Savard, at 7 minutes and 25 seconds.
7 minutes and 25 seconds, the time of the second Montreal goal. Popov clearing it back to the line. Jarvis coming down on the left side, and Kuzkin broke him up. Here's Savard into the center ice area with Roberts and Wilson. Savard lugging the puck on the backhand, and he fired it around the net. Canadiens Wilson trying to keep it in. Kuzkin missed it. Volchenkov takes it in behind the net, trying to shake off Wilson. Gets it over the stick of Popov, and it's Savard with it. Here's Savard, shaking off Popov. Savard into the center ice area to Wilson. And Kuzkin cleared it back to the line. The Canadiens feed it in. Now at the line. Here's Jarvis going in. He shoots it. And Tretiak got in front of it. Volchenkov clears it down the ice. Icing against the Soviets.
Here you see the shots on goal. The Canadiens have now had 8. The Soviets have not had 1. In the face-off department, it's 6-1 in favor of Montreal.
From the face-off. It's cleared down the ice. The Gankov shooting it down. The shot got away from Vikulov. Cleared it for Cournoyer. Breaking in on the right side. And Luchenko swept it off to the wing. Now here's Robinson winding up for the shot. He's looking for the net. And Cournoyer fired it. He fired it wide. Cournoyer with a backhand shot. And it went off the stick over the glass.
Great chance for Cournoyer. Pretty good play by Luchenko in the first instance because Cournoyer had him beaten prior to this, moving in. Back of the net, look at it. And as we're watching it, the Soviet linesman fell down. Here's another look at it with Robinson firing it from well out. There's that chance for Cornway. Oh, wide open side.
Mahovlich going in along the boards against the Gankov. Cornway passed it back off the boards to Don Orey. There's a shot to the short side. Cornway digging at it behind the net. Against Yurchenko, Cornway prevails to Peter Mahovlich. Now the Soviets breaking out over the line. Alexandrov down on the right side. He's upended. Canadians take over. And it is shot, clearing it down the ice. Luchenko going back for the Soviets. The Canadians are called for icing.
John, I would have to think that the Soviets are a little perturbed. They looked at the shots on goal and see it now 9-0. Don Orey hasn't scored a goal all season in the NHL, came close, and then made a good defensive play here.
Here's Boris Alexandrov, and of course Donnie's a real defensive defenseman. Gets that puck up, and they haven't had a shot yet, is right, Dick.
Gusev getting it over. Vasiliev knocked it to the corner. Lapointe gets it out on the left side. Lemaire with the first. Lemaire going in, shoots, and a hot shot is juggled by Tretiak. Here come the Soviets. Petrov to Harlamov. He's over the line. Here's Harlamov trying to work in there. There's the shot, the rebound. Mikhailov took the shot, tried to center it off Savard's stick. Mikhailov clearing it to the left side. And it's Lafleur in possession for Montreal. Gives it to Lemaire, who dumps it delicately into the Soviet zone. Now Vasiliev feeding it ahead. Petrov couldn't get it. And Lapointe with 9 minutes and 46 seconds left in the first period. Lapointe goes up on the left wing. Vasiliev to Mikhailov. He's down on the right side over the line. Harlamov stops. Harlamov to the Hilov. To the side of the net. He took that shot and couldn't get it on the target. That was nice passing there by that Russian line. Mikhailov, Harlamov, and Petrov. Mikhailov back in on the right side. Petrov working his way in, trying to slide it in front. There's Gusev winding up for a shot. And it went off Savard. It's centered in front of the net, and Lapointe clears it. Jarvis getting it out over the line. Soviets showing their best offensive pressure of the hockey game to this point. Montreal leading 2-0. Solidukin is on the ice now behind the net. They try to center it. Mikhailov had his centering pass blocked. Lapointe rolled it into the center ice area. Vasiliev had his pass get by Savard into the Canadian zone. Lapointe gets it for Robinson, and it goes down the ice. And the checking, something you don't see too often in games of this nature, the checking a bit close. Volchenkov and Wilson went sprawling on the ice. Now Jarvis coming in over the line. Here's Jarvis working to the corner. He's getting set for a pass. It hit Vasiliev. There's Roberts with it. Over for Wilson, and he couldn't pick it up. Vasiliev cleared it to the other side. Here's Popov out on the right side. Maltsev is across the line, getting into the slot. He fired it, and it was low and wide. Wilson starting out down on the left side. Pushkin is back there for the Soviets. Canadians are changing while the play goes on. Solidukin dropping it neatly back to Maltsev. Good stick handling by Maltsev. Coming up with Solidukin. And Robinson cleared it out over the line. Puck was bouncing crazily. Solidukin ahead for Popov. And the Canadians very strong at their own blue line with the forwards coming back, as you see there, with Rysbrough coming back. Solidukin was bumped by Orey. 7 minutes and 18 seconds left in this, the first period. Montreal leading 2-0. The Soviets. Solidukin clearing it right back into the Canadian zone. Shluptov, number 22, is now on the ice with Alexandrov. Lambert going in, broken up. Sagankov clearing it to the Canadians line. Orey finally got it over to Rysbrough. Rysbrough to Don Orey. Orey at center on the left wing. Shoots it in there. Tremblay is bumped along the boards. by Volchenko. He and Volchenko fight for it. Pass to Mahovlich. And he had that one go off the heel of his stick. Zagankov in on the boards against Tremblay. Are they going to get a whistle? Yes, they do in the face-off in the Soviet zone. Scotty Bowman coming through the clock and through your television set. He's got to be happy at this stage. 2-0. Cornway shooting it right on. And Tretiak got that pad out there to make the save. Here's Schluchthoff over the line, and he fired it. He didn't miss by much on that far side. Peter Mahovlich against Alexandrov. Vikulov is the other forward for the Soviets. Lapointe tried to set up his man shut, and it's down the ice. And Luchenko touches it, icing against Montreal.
Last couple of minutes, John, last few minutes, really. The Canadiens, I think, could have been a little bit better inside their own line from the standpoint of handling the puck. They're covering the man well.
That's true, Dick. I haven't seen the Canadiens defensemen handle a puck as much as they have tonight in the form this year. And we've been using, that's our fifth defenseman out there now, John Van Boxmeer. And in 1972, we went with 6 defensemen. If they can wear you down.
Soviets with the defense of Zagankov. Laying up along with Luchenko. Here's shot he has scored in this game tonight. He's belted at the line by Luchenko. Now Vikulov into the center ice area, hitting the Montreal line, trying to get by Bouchard. And Mahovlich cleared it to the line. It's brought in by Zagankov, and that's offside. 5:39 left in this first period. 2-0 as we look at Tretiak. He has given up the 2 goals.
And a look at some of the youngsters, really, on that Soviet bench. Number 15, Solodukov, 25 years of age. And that's number 10, Viktor Kikirgin. Came over early to play with the Moscow Selects in their tour of Canada a couple of weeks ago.
On the face-off. It goes over toward Petrov. He tried to clear it in front, intercepted by Sabern. It goes high. And a stick making contact while that stick was above the shoulder in the opinion of the official, and that calls back the play. So they'll face off outside the line. Lafleur to Lapointe. Lapointe slapping it off the boards, racing after it out to the left side to Lemaire. He cleared it into the Soviet zone. Gusev in there against Lafleur. Gusev from the corner, Montreal leading 2-0, a pass. Harlamov has it on the right side. He's over the line, takes the shot, a quick wrist shot, and Dryden had to kick it out very neatly. That wrist shot is very dangerous. Now Petrov coming back in, tried to set up Harlamov, and Savard broke it up. Vasiliev back at the Soviets line. Now Petrov going after it. Swings the pass up to Gusev. Gusev closing in for the shot. And it goes off Savard over the glass. Savard seems to be everywhere when he's out there. A degree of quietude has settled on the form as we look at Harry Sinden. The crowd was in a